some things. I hope you're ready, cause this is what I do. It's all about different perspectives in here. Where you gon' get the real, no BS in here. We keep it real as we can. You can tell your truth and feel comfortable here. These reactions, videos and live these reactions. She's about to put on a show. These reactions, just to let you know, like, share, subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Keep it real, keep it these reactions. What you gon' do? DeeDee's reactions. We about to go live. Subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Welcome to the show. Everybody is Dee. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into some things. I hope you're ready, cause this is what I do. It's all about different perspectives in here. Where you gon' get the real, no BS in here. We keep it real as we can. You can tell your truth and feel comfortable here. These reactions, videos and live these reactions. She's about to put on a show. These reactions, just to let you know, like, share, subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Keep it real, keep it these reactions. What you gon' do? DeeDee's reactions. We about to go live. Subscribe. We about to go live. It's DeeDee's reactions. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee Dee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. I hope you guys are doing well. I miss y'all. I haven't seen y'all in a minute, but I am back for another impromptu short live stream, y'all. I'm not gonna keep y'all too long today. I just wanted to address a few things, and it was quicker to just come live and talk to you guys and hang out with y'all for a minute. All right. So I'm not gonna keep y'all too long, but listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button as you come to the building. Also, if you are new to the channel and you like the content and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me perfectly fine. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me perfectly fine. Want to make sure that the audio is good. But shout out to y'all. How y'all been? I hope everybody's been doing well. I hope y'all been thriving and surviving and doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here. Once again, listen, make sure you are supporting the channel via Super Chat or Cash App. Also, hit the like button as you come into the building. That definitely helps to push the channel, y'all, into the algorithm so we can, gain more followers and, grow on this platform. So make sure you are doing that if you can. Shout out to everybody in the building. I see the ones in the chat. So thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Listen, we're going to hop right into it. I just wanted to get your perspective on this and get your thoughts on this whole DC AirBNB situation. And then I have another video that I want to react to with you guys. So make sure you leave your thoughts and your comments in the chat. I want to hear what you got to say. All right. So I want to go ahead and pull up this clip. Have you guys heard about this whole DC AirBNB squatter? This has been all over social media. I kind of saw a little bit of what was going on, but I wanted to give my thoughts and get your thoughts on this. And just, just horrible behaviors in general. Y'all know how I do. And I like to point out certain things that we see happening in our communities or just in the world. And give my perspective on why people act the way they do, why people do what they do, and how it all relates to, just everything, how it goes back to how people interact in relationships, how they interact with their peers, how they interact with their children, how they interact with people in their lives. And it to me, there's always a connection because it goes back to behavior, how you think, how you move, what you tend to do. And, that could determine how you are with other people, how you are in relationships, how you are with men and women, and just people around you, and how people think, selfish mentalities, entitled behaviors, all of that stuff. absolutely has everything with how you conduct yourself and how you interact with other people and build relationships, or the lack thereof, or how you're not able to build relationships, with whether it's intimate relationships, where it's just, or any type of relationship. There is a correlation between it all. So I wanted to say that, and this is part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because it always has something to do with your behavior and the relationships you build or the relationships you don't build. So I want to get into it. I'm gonna play a little bit from this. This lady got evicted from this property that she tried to use tenant rights to force her way into this woman's property, and thought she just was going to stay there without paying any rent, which is insane to me. And my thing is, if you ain't got no money to pay rent, if just say that. Just say that. If you can't afford rent, just say that, So that's my take on it. I want to go ahead and pull up the clip for you guys, and I want to get your thoughts on this one. So make sure you chime in the chat. But here we go.
Night, another twist in a bizarre Airbnb battle. 7 News has exclusively told you about a homeowner in Northeast DC who says a squatter has taken over her short-term rental. But that alleged squatter claims she's a tenant with rights. All new at 6 o'clock. Our Felicia Ashley is learning this isn't the first time the so-called unwanted guest has refused to leave a property.
I found court records revealing that Romero stayed in multiple properties in and around D.C. rent-free for months while they went through the eviction process.
Court records show at your previous apartment you were also getting evicted for not paying rent. And
so that wasn't for that place, it was for a previous place where something happened during COVID when everyone was not receiving payment. I'm an entrepreneur and I also have a nonprofit.
Court records show Shadija Romero faced eviction from 2 other DC properties before booking Roshane Douglas's Airbnb nearly a year ago. I reviewed the records with real estate attorney Rich Bianco.
Scrolling down the docket here, she knows what she's doing. So this isn't the first rodeo.
Court records show that in October 2021, she had a year lease at the Jameson at Dakota Apartments. Those owners also filed a suit against Romero. It shows she stayed months past the end of her lease and did not pay anything between May 2022 and January 2023.
Now, so this just proves that she has a history of doing this. She's just trying to, get free rent. She doesn't, and I said this before. I said when COVID happened and, people, in that situation, people weren't able to pay rent. A lot of people weren't able to go to work because, people were quarantined and stuff like that. So you couldn't go to work. So that's understandable. But I think a lot of people got used to not having to pay rent. And so then when it was time to pay rent again, people just felt entitled, like, hey, we didn't have to pay anything all this time. So now we don't want to pay rent. We can, we don't want to have to pay anything. And so a lot of people just thought that was just supposed to continue, and they got used to that. And then they started to just not pay rent and didn't think that anything was going to happen because people were seemingly getting away with that. And so I just think, once again, that shows a level of entitlement. This woman had been doing this apparently from what they're posting, and she's been getting away with it, staying free. And then until the people have to, till the people are forced to go to court to get her out of there. With this particular Airbnb situation, they were saying this one was taking trips to Jamaica. They got her out here on trips to Jamaica while she's not paying her rent and things of that nature. So it's like, how are you able to take trips and do all these things, and you're an entrepreneur and you have a nonprofit, but you can't pay rent, which is crazy to me. When they're so used to using those terms. I'm an entrepreneur, like I'm a businesswoman, I'm a boss chick, but you can't pay your bills, or you just don't want to pay your bills. Like that's irresponsible. So my thing is, I think boss chicks, people, entrepreneurs, just think that that's a term they could use to just get away with anything. Like what? Like it just make it look even worse for you to even bring up that you're an entrepreneur and you have a nonprofit, but you're not paying your rent for months and months and months. I think to the tune of 9 or 10 months, she didn't pay. This particular situation, this lady was forced to take her to court. And then she got in court and lied and thought that was going to, do something, and it didn't. But let's continue.
She also signed a legal agreement to pay the Jameson $35,000 in back rent, but she did not follow through with that agreement. She was officially evicted 8 months after she stopped paying.
I did not go to court for eviction for Ava Noma.
5 days after she was evicted from the Jameson, records show she moved into Ava Noma. She paid 1 month's rent and owes them nearly $50,000. The property tried to evict her multiple times, but there was a fire, which I confirmed with DC Fire and EMS started in her unit while she was there.
Ava Noma is the one showing that you were in the process of being evicted for paying 1 month's rent when you were there for 13.
So no, that would not be accurate.
Again, court documents show Romero filed a motion to delay the eviction, this time citing the fire and saying insurance needed to see the damage in the unit. She booked the AirBNB as she was getting evicted from that property. I found multiple tenant and landlord cases against her in and around D.C. when she went by a different name at the time. In addition to that, I saw at least a dozen liens against her, as well as a case claiming that she paid for a down payment for a vehicle and made no other payments after that. Now, since these discoveries, Romero has said that she is not speaking to us anymore. For now, reporting from the D.C. Bureau, Felicia.
Of course she don't want to speak to him because you're busted and you can't lie your way through. And see, this is what I'm saying. This is the type of behavior that we see from a lot of these entrepreneurs. A lot of these boss chicks who have nonprofit organizations and all that, because that makes them legit when they think that makes them special or something. I don't know. But this is the type of behavior that we're starting to see even more now because, the issue's starting to hit the fan. And things are starting to get a bit rough out in these streets for these independent boss chicks who don't need no man. And they're skipping out on rent, skipping out on car payments. You're skipping out on your bills because it's getting hard for you to handle all of this by yourself. And I saw an article recently, y'all. I don't know if it was from a year or two ago, but I think that was the most recent, where they're saying now people are starting to rethink relationships and starting to try to come together because of the economy. If that is the case, it's not a shocking thing to me to hear that because it makes sense. When the economy gets bad and prices are going up and things become super unaffordable, then people want to merge together because they have no other choice. It goes back to what you hear a lot of these boss chicks saying, like back in the day, we're not our grandmothers. They were together because they had to be. Well, baby, it might, things have a way of repeating itself. You may have to end up, but only difference now is men know, know your nature. Men know, the jig is up. Men know what y'all are doing. So these men probably better off by themselves, probably like, baby, I don't know, either some men might want to play the game, but some men are like, nah, I don't want you now. Because I know why you're over here. Because a lot of the men are used to taking care of themselves and doing things by themselves. They don't depend on the government like a lot of these boss chicks do. So men have always known and always have had to get it out the mud and go and handle their business and do what they need to do. So they're used to working hard and doing things by themselves. Women, on the other hand, and which they hate for us to acknowledge, is that you want to claim all this boss chick. This is why a lot of these women brag about being boss chicks so much, because it's shocking to you that you even was able to amass some type of money. It's like, oh my God, I did it. It's like, oh my God, it said I couldn't, or I didn't even think that I could. So now that I did it, oh, you gotta reverence me because I'm special because I was able to make some money, because y'all not used to doing that. So you do it, and now it's like you want somebody to bow down to you because you went to work and made some money. Men have always had to go out and get it out the mud. So they're not used to the struggle. They're not, they know what they got to work hard, and nobody is coming to save them. So they're already out here living their lives. They don't need women. I'm just saying. So women are the ones who go run trying to get a man when the shit hit the fan. But these men probably like, you know what? I'm good by myself. As much as we hear women say, oh, I'm good, I can do bad by myself, I don't really need a man. These men really don't need you. And that's the part I don't think they really like. These men have been thriving and they built themselves up, and they realize I could live pretty decent. And a lot of these men don't really need a whole lot. That's the thing. They go and get a place, and live comfortably. And they're not trying to do the most, and spend all this extra money just because. And so they could live modestly and stack their cash and do just fine. Women, on the other hand, in my opinion, are the ones who have it harder because we are the more superficial of the group. We want lavish this, we want expensive this, we want to look a certain way, and that costs money. So we usually spend way more trying to fit a certain aesthetic or lifestyle, and we spend all our money, and then we want a man to be our backup. You want a man to be your backup to back up the money that you're blowing and continuously do that. And a lot of these men are saying, no, I'm not going to do that because that's going to mess me up financially. And I'm not trying to blow everything that I've worked hard for. I'm trying to build. And that's the difference. So a lot of these women are out here. It just doesn't make sense to me, but I get how these women like to say they're boss chicks and they got it all together, but you're not paying your bills. So what happens is you end up not paying your bills. You start being irresponsible because you want to present a certain lifestyle. In this situation, this woman is going on, they caught her in Jamaica, twerking in the pool, and she's, living her best life, but you ain't paying your rent. So you're not paying your bills. You're not being a responsible adult, but you got money to go take trips because that looks great. You seemingly have this lifestyle that's appealing and appeasing to people online, but in real life, none of your bills are paid. You're skipping out on stuff, not paying your card, not doing this, and you're getting over like a fat rat, but you're out here claiming boss chick status, and because you got a nonprofit and you are entrepreneur, you're special. But then this be the main ones. This is why I tie it all to relationships, because these be the main ones turning around talking about, I need a man and I need a real man to do this, and the real man does that, and the real man pay all the bills. No, because you can't even pay your own bills. Are you a real woman? Are you real? Because clearly, if you're real, if you could pay bills and do all that, so clearly you might not be real. If you ain't real, because you can't pay your bills. It's crazy, but let's continue. She responded to all of this, so I want to play the response too, because I think it's just insane. Rack9, thank you so much for the super chat, sis. But I thought men were broke and dusty. Exactly. I always tell y'all, listen, thank you, Rack9, for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. This is why I will continue to say, as long as I can, that it's a projection, y'all. It's a projection. It's a projection of what they are. They're projecting onto you so that you can feel bad and think that they have to be your responsibility. Like as a man, you're supposed to do all this kind of shit. No, as a man, you're responsible to take care of yourself and the people and your family. If you have children, you're responsible for your kids, and you're not responsible for some woman who can't pay her own bills. And I know that there are men out here who, they don't mind doing that, but that's fine. But that's not the responsibility. And that shouldn't be the pressure that is put on all men to do for random women. No, if you have a wife, you married, yeah, you take care of your family. And even that's a working together, that you have a cooperative, loving wife who's there working with you, not try to drain your pockets dry like a financial vampire, just drain you of all your resources until you have nothing, and then she walk out to somebody else. No, you have a wife who's there working, y'all working together, that she's not trying to drain you dry. She's there to work with you and be a helpmate, not just a leech. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference, and that's what they don't want to hear because they need help. Thank you, Rack9. Once again, I appreciate you. JSU Tiger 07, thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Says Dee, love the new intro. I had it blasting in my car and should be on a 10-hour loop. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I love it too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thank you for the super chat, JSU Tiger 07. I appreciate you for being here. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button, y'all. As many people as we have in here, we need to have the same amount of likes, and we don't. Please hit the like button, y'all. We got 35 likes, and we got about 50-something people in here. So go ahead and hit the like button, y'all. Thank you once again for the super chat. Make sure you guys are supporting via super chat or Cash App, y'all. That will definitely help the channel. And hit the like button. That helps too, and that's free. So hit the like button, y'all. Oh, before we continue this, I want to say, listen, the t-shirts are available. The link is in the description. I'm going to post an ad on the channel for the shirts. Make sure you guys go and support and get you a shirt. We have Winter is here shirts. What you want, gotta want you. And we also have Pick Me Nation. They are available. I forgot to post it. Make sure you guys go and support and get a shirt. No, what's going on, Lorenzo? Thank you so much for being here. That's okay. Thank you for being here. Yeah, go support, get the shirts. The link is in the description. I will be posting a ad for the shirts. Make sure you guys go and support. I'm definitely going to get me the Pick Me Nation shirt. So I would love for you guys to show or wear your shirts or let me know if you purchase one as well. So make sure you are doing that as well. All right, let's continue.
Ashley, 7 News.
Good afternoon, Felicia Ashley with ABC 7. We are inside of the home on 20th Street that's been on the focus of this squatter versus DC homeowner battle that we've been covering. Today, the judge ordered that Shadidra Romero is not a tenant and does not have tenant rights. Therefore, the homeowners were able to essentially evict her right away without giving her a notice. The homeowners right now inside clearing out the home.
So this was her eviction. I think they did this live, which was crazy. And the thing about it is this woman didn't intend to leave this house whatsoever. All her stuff, they had to remove all of her belongings up out of there. She was not planning on leaving. She had done this before and thought she was going to just get away with this and live rent free and continue to take her trips and live her best life. No, they had to remove all of her stuff out there. The people in the community helped to move this stuff out and all her stuff is on the lawn. She was not planning on getting out of there whatsoever. This is crazy though. But this is the people that, like I say, once again, who will argue you down and call you dusty. But she's the dusty one, in my opinion. You're dusty to sit here and try to mooch or leech off of somebody when not paying rent. These people have to pay bills too. Like, it's just insane to me. And that's why I say that type of behavior, that mindset is just an entitled one. You want to get what you want. You're going to do whatever you can in your power to leech off somebody and steal from people and then turn around and play victim. I'm going to play her response as well, which, once again, crying and wants somebody to feel sorry for her. But it's just crazy. But let's continue. This is the eviction live, y'all.
Most of it has been cleared out. While we were here, community members who have been tracking this story, who were invested in this story, also showed up and said they wanted to help the homeowners because they feel the situation could happen to them at any time and any day. This is what the homeowners have cleared up thus far. This is everything that was inside of the home. Roshane Douglas said when coming inside, she was shocked to see how much was in here. She said to her it was clear that Mr. Romero had no plans of ever leaving. In addition to that, she said there was some damage done to the home. You can see we have one of the homeowners trying to fix the lock on the doors, as well as this lock right here. You can see the windows are still boarded up. These are boarded up from the inside. There were a lot of plants here. This is on the side. This whole wall was plants as well. You'll see some more images of what it looked like before. You can see they're also clearing out the upstairs that has a few bedrooms as well. Mr. Romero has not been back to the home today from what I can see, but I would expect that the home will be cleared out by the night. There's no light upstairs, so that's why it's gotten a little dark. We can see the rooms. I'm going to head back down so you can see some light, but some of the community members and family members that came to help the homeowners clear out the home. Now, in addition to that ruling, the judge said the homeowners will be entitled to Romero paying their attorney fees, paying for any fees from the home, as well as loss of pay. That's if the homeowners decide to continue to pursue that. And of course, there continues to be development in this case, but for now, reporting from Northeast DC, Felicia.
So this is sad, you know what I'm saying? And I really, this is no consideration for the homeowners. This lady rented this Airbnb and decided that she was going to make this her home for free. And that she was going to use some type of tenant rights to take over this property and live there rent free. Just try to find ways to get over on people and not even consider the owners of this property that they have to pay bills to. People forget that when you own property and you rent property out, you still have bills to pay for that property. You know what I mean? You still have bills to pay. You got bills to pay too. So when these people when you don't pay your rent, those people may not be able to pay their bills. But I think people forget that, and you just think they don't care. You're not thinking about the other person, inconsiderate. But if somebody did that to you, oh my God, they would be screaming and crying bloody murder. It's just, like I said, entitlements. You want to get your way. You don't matter what it costs the other people. And this is a mentality that we see amongst women all over the place. It's an entitlement all over. Entitled, independent boss chicks all over the place. Just want to get your way, no matter who is hurting, no matter what the issues are, no matter how this can negatively affect the other person. It's crazy, and then want to play victim. And this is exactly what we see across the board, and wonder why nobody want to deal with you. Rack9, thank you once again for the super chat, says she dumb as hell because now her story is on the news and nobody is going to want her as a tenant. Shaking my damn head. Exactly. Because yeah, no, who's gonna what, you know, you done did this with other people, you know, and so nobody's gonna want to deal with that. They're gonna see you coming, but who knows? Unless she disguise herself and use a different name, child. Because they're saying she used different names. Thank you, Rack9. I appreciate you once again. She's gonna try to go use a different, like, come on, like, this is crazy. This is why people are picky about folks coming trying to rent their properties. You know, and people don't want to rent to certain folks because they figure you're gonna try to pull some of these things. And even people with Airbnbs are skeptical about having people coming in, because this is not the first time there have been situations where people try to take over the people's property and stay longer than they're supposed to and not have to pay anything. It's crazy. But once again, you find a lot of women doing this. Honestly, we're gonna be honest, a lot of women do this. These boss chicks always trying to get over and not pay, but let somebody try not to pay them for something. Oh my God, all hell gonna break loose. You do things to people that you know you wouldn't want done to you. This is why I say people need to put a mirror on themselves. Put a mirror on yourself. If you're doing something to somebody that you know, in all honesty, you wouldn't want them to do it to you, why do you keep doing it? That's the entitlement issue. That's a selfishness issue. That's a you don't give a damn about nobody else issue. But you want everybody to have all the utmost love and respect and consideration for you, and you have none for nobody else. That has to change. But that's why I say too, this displays itself when it comes to relationships too. That's the same way the same way you are with yourself and how you do your business is how you move and act with it when it comes to a relationship. This is why the relationships fail and they walk away, because any man who doesn't want to put up with your BS, oh, he's the problem. Oh my God, men are just this, and why they not this? Why? It's only a problem because they're deciding that they don't want to deal with y'all bullshit. And when they decide they don't want to deal with your bullshit, it's a problem. No, when you the problem the whole time. Your attitude stinks. Your mindset stinks. Your mentality stinks. Your independent boss chick ways is a bunch of bullshit. Nobody don't want to deal with that. But it's the mentality across the board. This is why I say and typically when you see women like this, they usually single. They don't have a man in sight. That's why you can't pay your bills. Because you're struggling and you're going to do get it by any means necessary. You're going to do whatever you need to do to get over so you can thrive and look like a boss chick, child. Yeah, they usually be single. No man is there with them, because you wouldn't have to do that if it was. But you got to do this because no man wants to deal with that type of mentality. Nobody wants to deal with nobody like that. That's why they're having trouble now. But that's why I say it's all connected. You know, it's all connected. Pharaoh Ishmael, thank you, Pharaoh, says sisterhood stank-assery equals stank-assery version of living single. You know, and they will be living single, Pharaoh. Thank you, Pharaoh. I appreciate you. But yeah, it's just a mess. That's why I say it's all connected. The mentality, it shows in the way they move, how they do stuff. And that's why they usually be single when you see this type of stuff. But let's listen to her respond, y'all. Let's listen to how she responded to this. No accountability whatsoever. Listen.
After 7 years.
I have had people reaching out to the stores that my products in. I've had people reaching out to the schools that I have mentored girls in. I've had people reaching out to organizations that I've done free events for. Mind you, about 98 to 99% of the work that I have done has been from me. Even when I've needed help, I've helped because I've always thought it's somebody out here worse than me. Today in court, it was proven, or it was admitted, that the false narrative that I have been staying at a place since February and that someone has been trying to get me out since March, it was untrue. It was not true.
How was it not true when they evicted you, honey? How is it not true when it was proven that you didn't pay? You couldn't prove that you paid, so you had to. They evicted you. How? What's the false narrative? How is it a false narrative? If you actually paid, you could have had proven that, and then maybe it would have been a different story. But they proved you didn't pay a goddamn thing. That's why they had to get you out. Come on now. Let's continue.
The narrative that I had been staying at a place since February and had not made a payment since March, that was also untrue. It was admitted on record that payments had been received up until the end of September. Now, there is a payment in question. Somehow that payment wasn't received. I don't know, but there's a payment there's only one payment in question. So the narrative that I have been staying at a place since March and not making any payments, it was untrue. Documentation was provided that showed that I did not initiate the switching from Airbnb to direct payments to the owner and some scheme to circumvent a process that wasn't the case. Those direct payments were sent, those direct links were sent willingly. Not only willingly, but they were initiated by the other party.
Girl, stop the lies. She just mad she got busted.
Although it was decided that I don't have tenant rights, those things were untrue. And to get on the news to say things that are untrue shows a lot about a person's character and shows that they had malicious intent because they knew it would go off like this.
Okay, here we go once again. Projections. She's projecting what she did. How did the people have malicious intent to evict you when you didn't pay? It's insane. This is another way to try to project some type of blame onto the people and not take any accountability for your actions. Clearly, I wouldn't even made the video. I would have stayed off social media. Once you're busted, you're busted. Keep it moving. Damn, I couldn't lie my way out of this one. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't force the people to make me stay, and I'm not paying. So I'm gonna get on here and try to clear my name and make myself look good and make people think that this was all a sham and a scheme. You know what I mean? To get me out of this place when you didn't pay. That's just simple. And they were able to prove the case. That's why you were evicted and you were there. She was there for a long time. So you got free rent for months and months. Like what else do you want? But once again, this is entitlement. She's crying because she got busted and trying to get people to feel sorry for her. But it was clear that you didn't pay. That's why they evicted you. Thank you, Bakesh Edwards, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. This is crazy, but once again, y'all, and this is not every woman, and I don't want all women to feel some type of way behind this because it's not all women. It's really not. But for the ones that's this way, because they expose themselves by doing this. They're used to getting sympathy from people and getting their way, no matter how malicious or no matter how wrong they are. There's never any accountability. Why not? Don't make a video after all of this. Just stay off of here and just go collect yourself and figure out where you're going to stay, and don't, but you got to try to make the other side look bad and make it seem like you're the victim. That's what it is. Everybody else is the problem. And these types of women are always the victim. This is the same story. It's the same scenario over and over and over and over. We hear it all the time. The women who move this way are always victims. They're perpetual victims. They never say, you know what, my bad. My bad. And I understand you don't want to incriminate yourself. I get it. You was doing something you shouldn't have been doing. You're not going, and then you didn't go get no jail time because they just evicted her. There's nothing else going on. I mean, get out of Dodge. You done been caught. You're busted. just keep it moving, but they can't. You gotta try to push the narrative or switch the narrative and make yourself look, because you're not used to you used to getting your way probably, and you used to doing foul shit and getting away with it. And then the minute you can't get away with it, oh my God, you're pissed and mad. It's tears of anger because you couldn't get your way. And that's what you're probably used to, doing stuff like this and nobody ever holds you accountable. But the minute you're held accountable, it's a problem, and you're crying and want to say, this was a lie, and it was a lie, a joke in the game. And oh my God, they did me wrong. You know? Pharaoh, thank you once again for the super chat, says a lot of Black women like her are upset the victim narrative and woman privileges are expiring. Right. They wanted equality. Now they got it. Exactly, Pharaoh. I agree 100%, because that's what it is. You can't just mosey around and do whatever you want. It's slowly changing. You can't just get away, and they've been used to getting away, and now the tides are shifting and they don't like it. Thank you, Pharaoh. I appreciate you once again. Exactly. And I mean, come on. You fought for equality. You got it. You act like you're better than men, and you're so much better, and you make all this money. Then use your money. Pay your goddamn bills. Let's continue.
And the thing about the truth is that the truth doesn't always, it's not heard as loud as the lie is. So the damage that this has caused, irreparable.
This is crazy.
I'm going to take some time away because, as I said, this has been the hardest. Everything that I do with my business, I do it with love. Everything I do with my nonprofit, I do with love. And I can't do either right now with the amount of pain that is in my heart. To those who waited to make their judgment, to get the facts that the shit just wasn't true, thank you. To the people who made their decision and left comments, the people who know me or who have known me, fuck y'all. And y'all wouldn't say it to my face. I wish, as I always wish, I hope you know love up close. And the thing about it is, when you know love up close, you move differently. Yeah. You don't move to find things about somebody and break them down. You don't do that. You don't make fake pages and fake numbers to harass people. You don't do that when you moving with love and when you know love up close. And because I know love up close.
Girl, if you knew love up close, you wouldn't have tried to get over on them damn people. What you mean, you know? What that got to do with it? Knowing love up close, well, you wouldn't have tried to, get over on people. If you really got love in your heart for folks, you wouldn't try to get over on these people. Somebody said in the comments, imagine the pain of the real owner. Exactly. What pain you deal? You got away with free rent for months. You didn't have to pay a damn thing. Went on a vacation. So you was able to live in a place rent free. It was continuously trying to do it. What pain you dealt with? The people who had to pay bills, they had to deal with more than you. The selfishness and the entitlements. I say it all the time. It's insanity, y'all. It's crazy. And we talk about this type of mentality as it deals with, as it relates to men and relationships. But that's why I said it translates, in my opinion, because if you would do this to people, you do this to anybody. You don't give a damn, I'm just, but it's, and they're sitting there crying like, oh my God, woe is me. I'm the problem. They lie, but they had enough evidence to evict me. Oh, I paid every month of the rent. I paid all the months. One payment was in question. So they evicted me for one not paying one time? Maybe.
I know I will be okay. I might not be okay in this moment, but I will be, because I have some people who will make sure that when I'm too deep in the trenches, they pull me out. That's all I got.
Well, where was those people that before you got into this situation? Where was those people when you was, all the months behind? They couldn't help you. I'm just saying. Where were they? They couldn't help you when you didn't have the coins to pay the people that money to live in their place. Come on. Well, where were they? Where are they? But who knows? She might get a GoFundMe. Y'all donating to that? Might go get a GoFundMe. Might could find a few people who feel sorry for her and maybe give us some money to help her find a new place. Man, this is crazy. But this is just one example. I'm not surprised. This is just one example. They find a loophole or a way that they think that they can get over on folks, and they try to do it. And she's not the only one. There's a lot of people out here that's scamming and shamming folks, and they have they have no care in the world about doing it. As long as they get what they want, that's all that matters. As long as they can continue and walk around like boss chicks and, get their hair and their nails done and, live their best lives and travel and go all over the world and not pay their bills and get away with it, they will. Whilst continuously out here calling men dusty and broke and all this kind of stuff. And while they shamming and scamming folks and getting things for free, they're going to keep doing it. They don't give a damn about your feelings or nobody else's. They're going to use whoever they can to get whatever it is that they want while telling everybody else, y'all broke and dusty while you scamming people. And I never can understand how people could be big scammers out here in this world while calling everybody else broke and dusty. There's scammers all over the place and calling people broke and dusty. I don't care who it is. You got people who are not even from this country doing that. That's a whole nother topic. I'll be posting some videos on that. But it's like any of them, anybody out here calling other people broke and dusty and lazy and this and that while you scamming for yours. So by your own admission, you are the broken, dusty one, and you're the lazy one because you don't have what it takes to go out and work hard and build something up and for yourself. You got to steal it from others. But the audacity to call somebody else broke and dusty and lazy or whatever is insanity. That's crazy work to me. But you see it happening all over the place. This is why if somebody have the audacity to come out and try to tell you you're broke and you're dusty and you can't because you don't want to spend your money on them, just know when they say that, they're the broken, dusty ones. Straight up. It's a deflection. They're broken, dusty. They don't have the money that they're asking you for. That's why they're asking you for. Because if you really, truly got all this money and you truly are doing well, you don't worry about somebody else's money. When you have your own and you really are able to take care of yourself and you're financially stable, you don't worry about somebody else's money. But the only reason you're doing that is because you're not really as stable and functional as you want people to believe. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're scamming left and right. You're doing all these things to front and make yourself look like you're more than what you are. And, this is interesting. And look, I'm not happy to see people doing bad. But when I see people, I don't like scammers, because people work hard for what they have. And then some unsuspecting loser comes along and try to scam people out of stuff. I don't like that. But then be the very ones acting like you high and mighty and you better than people. But you're scamming people you're not working hard. You're lying. You're perpetrating a fraud and presenting yourself one way and you're nothing like that. While hardworking people out here actually working hard for this, and then these scammers just come take and take and take. I don't know. If you scammers should go to jail. If you scamming people out of stuff, you need to go to prison. You're taking from actual hardworking people, and you're living your best life off of somebody else's hard work. No, they need to go to jail. I'm just saying. That's just crazy to me. Pharaoh says, off topic, will we get any more Pop the Balloon vids? I think I probably will do the Pop the Balloon from St. Louis, Pharaoh. So I probably do some of those from St. Louis because I saw a couple of them that I want to react to. So I probably do that. Thank you, Pharaoh, for the super chat. I appreciate you. This chick should go on a Pop Balloon show. It would be a gang pop. Yeah, it's just crazy. But anyway, I'm glad these people got their property back, and hopefully they can move on from this. And I don't know if they're trying to sue her for the unpaid rent or whatever, but they should. And because it's crazy. Anytime people are out here really working, these be the entrepreneurs and boss chicks, but you don't have no money. And then the actual people who have businesses, y'all trying to get over on them. These people own properties and putting their properties on Airbnb, trying to make a living or make money, and this is what they get. So come on now. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm glad these people got their property. Finally, they got her out of there because it was a struggle. You get these people in your property and you have to go to court and do all these things to get them out when they're not even paying. And it's sad that you got to go through this whole process to get people out of your property that you own, because they think they can come here and have some type of squatters rights and sit there and not have to pay anything while enjoying your property. That would piss me off too. I'm just saying, I would be pissed. And it's just crazy. I just think it's just insane, y'all. For real. Anytime people try to do stuff like this, it just irritates me, because I'm like, but these be the ones who be bougie. These be these bougie chicks walking around like they're better than any, the best thing since sliced bread. You think you 10 bags of chips and more. You have these snooty attitudes and all of this, but you're scamming people, baby. A scammer, scamming people don't make you a top tier woman, honey. Scamming people doesn't make you this high value woman. Like, this is stupid. Like, hell, and this is big fat people think they high value women. No, being fat, and I saw this on something too, which made me laugh out loud, but it's the truth. You can't be fat and high value. They talked about that on one of Lapeef, or I saw this on either Lapeef or what's DJ Hamp with this might be risky. Shout out to them. Either one of their channels, I saw somebody said, they asked the question something about if you're fat, could you be considered a high value woman? And the answer is no. But listen, I might react to that because that was hilarious to me. But yeah, you walk around thinking they don't, well, I'm high value and this and that and all this, and I'm just you can't talk to me, and you scamming people and fat. So it's just a lot going on. It's just, I'm glad these people got their property. Hopefully they can move on. And there needs to be something put in place to vet these people properly and or something. Make sure they're not scamming. Make sure they get property in different. I don't know. There needs to be some type of something put in place so this wouldn't happen. Because this is crazy. There are a lot of people who own properties, and that's a nightmare to have somebody in your property who don't want to leave and don't want to pay. Like, come on now. And that's causing you to miss out on money and stuff. Like, you lose money. If anything, she wants somebody to feel sorry for her because she's been busted, but she don't feel sorry for those people who lost money with her sitting there. They couldn't rent their property out to nobody else to make money off of their property. And she's laying up in there thinking this is her home and she's going to just take over. Like, Lord have mercy. And but anyway, hopefully, they can recover from this and move on. Like, because this is just ridiculous. She's sitting there crying, baby. I feel no sympathy for her whatsoever, because that's wrong. And right is right, wrong is wrong. And they know it, but they don't care. But anyway, let's move on. I want to move on to this clip, y'all. It's a Kendra G clip. I don't know if y'all tired of Kendra G, but I wanted to play this one because I saw this. I watched these clips and then I realized I have something to say. So I want to play this one for you guys. There's a couple of Kendra G clips that I do want to react to that just took me there. So this is one of them. I want to get y'all thoughts on this one. Make sure you are hitting the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. And let me know. Chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Here we go.
Girl, you back. Now listen, Linda. Listen, Linda, literally. Listen, Linda.
I'm not drunk though, because she just sobered me up. That girl sobered. Bro, what's wrong with her? I think she thought, you know what, Kendra, listen. I think she thought you was a therapist and not a dating coach.
No, this is what I think. I think.
Now, they talking about the previous guest, which I want to react to her too, in another video, where that woman came on. She had some issues. She I don't know if you guys have seen that when she lost her children's father. He was, deleted. And she just came in with an attitude. I'm going to react to that one because I have a few things I want to say about that. But this is what they're talking about before we get into this particular woman who's been on Kendra's show before. And she's looking for a man who makes, I think she said, what, 200,000, if I'm not mistaken, which is insane to me. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let's continue.
She knows I'm a journalist that hosts a dating show. So let's start there. But I think she knows that. I think that there's things I've said that she does not like. And she has her thoughts. And girl, you and this body, girl, I'm sorry, I can't. That waist, to me, is crazy how you...
We talking about the girl that was just... No, because there's people watching your show that's mentally fucked up like her. Like, she just threw me out. She sobered me up. I ain't even gonna lie. I was drunk as fuck. She sobered me up.
Well, I will say this. Hurt people. And the thing she's gone through, most people probably couldn't survive that. We don't know. Death is one thing. Murder is another thing. The father of your 5 kids is another thing. Then she was telling us about potentially some things she went through in her childhood.
Girl, you don't need to be dating. You need to be seeking therapy.
No.
Exactly.
Kendra, y'all listen to me. Listen. Y'all need to listen to kids. Girl, you need to seek therapy.
I already told her she needed to see therapy. I said that.
Well, she ain't listening to your ass.
Girl, all right, this is going to be our last time. So you said you saw yourself and you didn't like the way you looked the last time.
I ain't like how I look. I ain't like how you forgot your credit card downstairs because you made my shit look ghetto.
There was a lot going on last Friday. I can't lie. All right, so this is going to be our last and final time. You ready?
Now, you gonna find my man, though.
Okay, well, yeah, let's see. Maybe I got bride number 5 is my next married in an hour. Maybe one day you'll be married in an hour contestant. But let's find your man first. So Linda, I don't remember everything. If you don't recall, Linda was bride number 3 in Joseph's wedding. And the cousins, not Joseph, the cousins voted her off first. You don't like to sit, huh?
Nope. I like to show my body, baby. I paid for it. I can't sit down, baby. I can't sit down.
Girl,
Can I ask you a question?
I don't know, because I'm looking at it, and shout out to her. Listen, girl, you wouldn't pay for your body. I ain't mad at it. I don't really be caring what people do. To be honest, y'all, I don't really be caring what you want to do with your body. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't give a damn. If you want to go get surgery and that's what you want to change or enhance some things about your body, go ahead, do it. That's your life. That's your choice. I don't really care about, I would tell the girl, don't do it. If that's what you want to do, be safe about it as best as you can. Cause listen, these surgeries, baby, listen, these surgeries, I be seeing these people going out here having surgery like it's like a walk in the park. Like, oh my God, it's like drinking of water. Like, no, you girl, I would be scared out of my mind. Look, I had a couple of surgeries, not cosmetic surgery. It's just like I had to have surgery. And I was scared as hell just for surgery I had to have because I had never had surgery before. And, I got in my 40s and I had to have the surgery. And I was scared out of my mind. So just to think to go have elective surgery, something that you're electing to do, is scary as hell. Because if something happened, it's like, oh my God, you lost your life going to do something you chose to do. That's the scary thing for me. I'm like, oh, and that's not something you have to do as opposed to going put in the hard work and go exercise and you know what I'm saying, eat healthy, get your body together like that. That don't take thousands and thousands of dollars. You just need to take a gym membership, or not even, you don't even need a home gym, create a home gym or gym membership or whatever. Is way cheaper than going under the knife. But that's how I feel about it. I'm like, I would be scared out my mind. You know what I'm saying? But these people be out here getting these surgeries like it's drinking water. Like, oh, it's nothing. I love surgery. I'm like, what? That shit ain't pain. Isn't that painful? Like, y'all love pain? I would be scared. And so many people have lost their lives behind these prosthetics, BBLs and tummy tucks and all this stuff. And I'm like, that makes it even more scarier. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, and they act like it's nothing. it is a lot. You could lose your life behind this stuff. So I'm just like, man, just having to have a surgery is scary, but electing to go under the knife is a scarier thing. But at the same time, listen, that's my feelings about it. But if you're not scared like me and you want to go take that risk, that ain't my concern. That's not my business. I don't really care. But I just be like, and another thing I want to say too, to go under the knife and get these surgeries done, I feel like this: if I'm going to risk my life and go under the knife like that, baby, I need to be snatched. Because I'm looking at her, and while I ain't gonna say she look bad, but it still look funny. Like there's still look. If I'm gonna go under the knife, my stomach gonna be flat. Like everything I want flat. I want it all to be right, So. Because then they end up back going and get more surgeries. And then people say that these surgeries are addictive. So once you go once, you want to go again and you start finding other things wrong. And it's you keep going. The more you do it, the more you want to do it. And so you start seeing other things wrong that you can fix, and you just go to fix it and messing with everything. And then people start messing with their face. And then you want to get your nose done. And you want to get your cheeks, and you want to get your eyelids and all this kind of stuff. Then you end up looking like something weird, So when they start touching their face and doing then you're doing too much, and then you end up looking like a fool, a clown. But yeah, it's scary. I just wouldn't be going under the knife just so willy-nilly like that. Like that's not a joke, baby. That's not a joke. Yeah. So I mean, even though I don't judge people for doing that, because it's like, once again, if you think you can go get something fixed about yourself, I don't have a problem with it. I said it before. That's your life. You do what's good for you. I'll do what I believe is good for me. So I'm not opposed to it. I'm just like skeptical about it. And I'm just like, because it's scary to me. It's like that's surgery. With any type of mandatory surgery, they tell you, hey, anything could happen. You know what I'm saying? So just the fear would be going and deciding you want to go get something done and then ended up not coming out of it. That's the fear for me. So yeah, let's continue.
Because I normally don't even ask these questions, but hopefully it's not invasive. How much money did you pay?
Yeah, okay, look, I fuck with Dr. Trent because he fine as fuck and I want to fuck him. So like,
what?
I ain't paid that much. He gave me a little discount or whatever. But Dr. Trent, he's
girl. So what are you saying, ma'am? You're screwing for surgery? What? Is that what she's saying? Lorenzo, no, I am not doing a Christmas live. I do not normally do. I don't do. This is considered like work or it's in some way, shape, or form. No, I don't. I enjoy those times with my family. Christmas, Thanksgiving, I don't do lives on those days. No, sir. Not at all. I never work on Christmas or Thanksgiving. Well, I will take that back. Me and my husband did a live years ago around COVID on, was it Christmas or Thanksgiving, like after the fact? I think we did that one time, but typically, no, I don't do, to answer your question, I don't do lives on Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that. No, because we have our tradition and we with my family. So yeah, I don't come on here for those. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says Alex, I'll take make me an ant body for 10 million. That's what it looked like, and I ain't even trying to be mean, ma'am. But that's what it looked like, Successful MD. I ain't gonna lie. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't going under the knife to look like that. I mean, Jesus Christ. If I'm going to get a tummy tuck and a BBL, I want my BBL to be symmetrical. I want not to be looking like a caricature. It'll look natural. Stomach on flat. Like, why go all under there and you still come out looking kind of funny? Thank you, Successful MD. You ain't lying. That's what it looked like. Salute, DeeDee. Love the ladies panel. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Jamil 843. Thank you. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. We gonna try to do that, panel live, the ladies panel again, y'all. We gonna do it again because I think it'll be fun. We have some other things coming up as well. So y'all stay tuned. Make sure you have that notification bell turned on, but I'll keep you guys updated on what's coming up next. Thank you, Jamil. Yeah, let's continue.
The Black African American He's in his 30s, ladies, and he in America, and he's strict. I would suggest if y'all want to go get your body done, go to fucking Dr. Tricks. I would not say go to Dior, because they don't care about y'all over there. Go to Dr. Tricks, and he's strict. Kendra.
Okay, we'll leave. Okay, let's continue. Linda, how old are you again, honey?
34. I ain't even promote for him, no, Kendra.
We're not gonna say his name no more. Not gonna say his name anymore.
I ain't promote for him. I'm just saying.
I understand. How many kids do you have?
2.
How old are your 2 kids again?
9 and 16.
And then you're a nurse, right?
I'm a CNA.
A CNA.
And I own Heavenly Hands.
Okay, and you're in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your zodiac sign?
Libra.
Okay, so we got Linda, 34, Libra, as a CNA, St. Louis, mine are 2 kids. And then your 2 kids are by 2 different men?
No, the only one.
Same man, but he passed away, right?
Yeah, I was engaged for 7 years.
Now, I will say this, Linda. You could be sympathetic to our last caller because you also lost a father to your child.
Yeah, but I ain't crazy, though, Kendra. Don't even put me in that category, no.
Hold on, let's not, listen. Sometimes pain is masked as crazy. You know what I'm saying?
She was coming for you.
I know. Listen, I understand that she was coming for me, and I still wish her well. I understand she was coming for me, but I still wish her well because what I've come to learn is hurt people. And I'm really, and in this space, there's a lot of hurt people. And it's usually masked with anger, with jealousy, with envy, with darkness. And the compassion of my blessed life, I can see that this person's truly hurting, right? So yeah. I think in her case, she might have a way she feels about me, but overall, she's dealing with things that are beyond any of our controlling. And I think we should wish her well and pray for her because that's some heavy stuff she said.
She fucked up.
And listen, I'm gonna give Kendra some for acknowledging that about that lady, and I'm gonna react to the other lady in a video, y'all. So stay tuned for that. Y'all probably already saw the other lady that she talked about. I'm gonna react in a video to that one. But I will give Kendra this for understanding that lady may have some issues and hurt feelings or whatever, like they say, hurt people. But I really wish Kendra would keep that same energy. I'm just saying, because I will commend Kendra for acknowledging that about that lady. But I wish she would have that same energy for the men. And I wish a lot of women would have that same energy when it comes to men. Understanding that men go through shit too. That men have it harder, in my opinion. If Kendra and a lot of other women could have that same energy when it comes to men and understanding that men have things hard and that men go through stuff and men have, and they have to deal with a lot of things and sympathize or empathize with men and not just, if you could keep that same energy for men too, I think we could get somewhere. If women could understand the stuff that men go through and maybe empathize and hear them out and listen to their stories and what they go, I think we would have a better world. I think we could get somewhere because it's, women, when they feel like it, will have empathy for other women, but when it comes to a man, oh, you're a grown ass man, you need to handle it. No empathy for what you could have went through, no matter, the same things that a lot of times women go through it, and in the younger ages, a lot of men go through that stuff too, if not worse. But men are just disregarded and discarded and told and said, oh, well, no empathy for you. You get your grown ass up and do this, do that. But they don't do that for the women. If women could have that type of energy she just displayed for men and understand that men, it's not all that easy for men and young men and coming up, we might could get somewhere in this world. It might not be such a divide when it comes to women and men. If women could start understanding that a man is a man, yes, but he's not Jesus and he's not a goddamn robot. Like, you know what I mean? He's not a robot. He's not he has to learn things, he has to grow. They don't come into this world knowing everything and knowing how to do everything as young men. They got to grow and learn and be taught things too. Like, I don't understand, so I don't know. I just wish that could, that could be given, some grace could be given to men as well, and not just women. Even though you see that this woman had a hurt, or she was traumatized, that you would understand that men need grace too. I just want women to think about that. Give some grace to men and understand that men are not robots. Men have feelings. They don't display them the way you do, but they're human beings. Because women talk so harshly to men. A grown ass man, you need to do this, you need to do that. But you grown ass women, you're grown too. You need to get up and do things too that you don't do. But y'all can understand that when it comes to women, but you don't understand it when it comes to men. I just want to throw that out there. If we could have that type of empathy for men and understand it, it's not like you giving them a pass. It's like you're understanding that, hey, they go through shit too, just like you do. They're not perfect human individuals. Everything is not, especially black men. Nothing's handed to them. They got to work hard and figure things out just like you do. And just because maybe in some instances, maybe you figured it out a little quicker, or you figured out something that worked for you, doesn't mean you have to put the men down and call them dusty and make it seem like they're not trying and they're just the bottom of the barrel and they just don't try. They don't do, and they're less than, like, we got to stop that, because I think that is a big part of the divide within our communities. And, a part of the reason why men are looking for relationship and love elsewhere, because they can't even get any type of empathy from their women, because women look down on them and act as if, just because you had an experience with a couple of pookies who wasn't motivated to do anything, you put all black men in that category, and that's just not the case. So I wish we could extend that to men as well. Liddell Jefferson, thank you so much for the generous super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And for supporting the channel. I appreciate you so much. Thank you once again. I appreciate you, sir. Let's continue.
Okay, let's focus. Linda, what kind of man you looking for, girl?
Okay, anyways, I'm looking for me, like, I want me a corporate nigga. Like, you gotta be like really cute. You gotta make over $250,000.
That is.
You gotta be African American or white. I don't fuck with Africans. And you gotta be family oriented. You can't have no kids, no baby mamas.
You have 2 kids.
Okay, that's enough.
Do you want to have more kids?
I will have more kids if you make a certain amount.
How much money does he have to make in order for you to have his baby?
Over $250,000 a year.
Did your children's dad make that?
Nope.
So you gave a man who made less 2 kids, and now this man has to accept you and your 2 kids and make $2,000. I gotta learn from my mistakes, baby.
Girl,
you gotta learn from your mistakes. Mm-hmm. Why can't he have kids like you?
I don't want no kids. No.
Why would you? I don't
care about, like, I mean, I don't care about it being like a stepmom, but like, I want a man who ain't got no kids, so like we can have kids. I want to be his first baby mama. Like, I want to be his first wife, his first child's mother.
Well, you know what? This is interesting, but this is not my first time hearing women who talk like this. They want to be the first baby mama, the first wife, but they didn't. When did you realize that? Because that would mean you should not have given children to somebody else. You should have waited to have children. If you want to be the first wife and the first woman to have his kids, that means you should have not created children with Pookie and Ray Ray. You should not have you should have been more selective in the guys that you gave children. You should have waited till you were married, basically. You should have waited till you was married the way it's intended for you to do, and then had kids with that person. That way you'd have been the first. That's why that's important. That's the whole reason why you're not supposed to be out here having sex with random people, and why you're supposed to, everybody don't do it the way they're supposed to or the way it was intended. That's why it's all messed up. But if people did it the way that it was intended, you'd have been the first everything. Right? If people would do things the way it was intended to, you wouldn't have that issue. Men wouldn't have to worry about women in their high body count. Women wouldn't have to be have to look at men and be like, damn, you can sleep with whoever you want. It's not a problem. If everybody did it the way that it was intended to go, none of these issues would be a problem. No body count on either side. No, children by other people. You would be the first everything. Y'all would be the first for each other. Y'all would be the first. But because it's all out of order and people don't follow that, they want to do what they want to do, how they want to do it. This is why you have the issues. But some people still crave the idea of, listen, I want to be the first this. I want to be the first to have his kids and all this kind of stuff. Or even men, you want to have kids with your wife, but that's hard because they already got kids from Pookie and Ray. You know what I mean? It's all out of whack. It's all whacked out. And this is why everybody has a problem. And because people aren't getting what they want because it's out of order. You know what I mean? So it's just so if men can't get what they want, I don't think women gonna be able to get what they want because they're the one, you're doing stuff out of order. You got 2 kids by somebody already, but you don't want him to have kids. You want to be the first for him. Crazy. Successful MD says she's using her gremlins as payment plans, baby. Thank you, Successful MD. Ciao. That's crazy. Let's continue.
Now, Linda, I'm going to ask you this question sincerely. Are you being serious or are you trolling me?
I'm serious.
I'm not trolling you.
So, in your heart of hearts, this is how you sincerely feel.
Kendra, I asked yourself, would you really want a man with kids?
Linda, here's the deal, and I say this respectfully so. You're describing a person who you are. You are a person with 2 kids, so you wouldn't date yourself.
I mean, I would date a man with, but I would prefer a man with no kids. Like, I would prefer a man with no kids who would accept mine. But I will date and marry a man with kids. But I would prefer a man who don't have any.
So you prefer a man that doesn't have any that makes $250,000.
Yeah, but I mean, because you know what it is. Like I dated a man. Like last show, I told you I didn't care about how much a man made. Right? I had experienced a man, and I did not care about how much he made. I didn't care about him having kids. They dog you out even worse. So what? I'd rather get dogged out by the nigga that gave more money. He ain't got no kids than a nigga who got money with kids. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it seems like she's just picking dudes who dogging her out. It don't matter if they got kids or not. You keep going after dudes who are dogging you out. Why does it have to be? Why are you picking? Why? What is it that you keep aligning yourself with men who dog you out? What's the problem with that? It doesn't matter if they have kids or not. It's about the type of guys that you're dating. So why not just date with the right intentions, and if that person is not showing up the way you need them to show up or being, the person you need them to be, just leave them alone. Like, I think they're not, once again, it goes back to what women hate to acknowledge is that they pick the wrong guys. They don't vet these guys, and everybody's out here trying to get sex and, sleeping with people. And then you get mad when they're not the type of guy that you need them to be. Like, why not? Everybody's in a rush to jump in. That's why people have kids by the wrong dudes. The guys that you have children with, you didn't vet them properly. And then you realize, oh, they're deadbeats, or they're not no good, but you didn't gave them babies. Like, because the truth behind a lot of that is, and this may not be every situation or every scenario, but it's for sure some of the situations and scenarios where women think that the baby is going to change the guy. I literally have heard women say, "Oh, that a baby, I want a baby with such and such." Even though he done cheated on you, he treats you bad, but you still with him. You stay with him, and then you think you want to have his child because you think that's going to change him. And then when you have that baby and that doesn't change him, now you're still frustrated. But now you have you got extra baggage, and it's and then y'all end up breaking up because he's not going to change for you, and the child didn't make a difference. So a lot of women do that, and they hate to acknowledge that. They just try to make it seem like, oh, he just was horrible, but you stayed with him, and then you gave him babies. Why, if he was so horrible? This is why they try to use that narrative. Oh, he just switched up when a baby came. No, he was the same person. You thought he was going to switch up for the better, and he didn't. Let's continue.
That's all I'm saying.
Where I got to the money. Let's do the Kendra Cam. This is the official Kendra Cam. Okay. Oh my goodness. Linda, when was your last relationship, honey?
Earlier this year.
Oh, and you don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Last year.
You haven't had sex in a year?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
You don't believe me, do you?
I have no way to confirm it or figure it out. I mean, I don't know. You said you wanted to have sex with your doctor. Are you lying? Have you had sex this year?
If I didn't come, it wasn't sex. So, anyways, no.
Girl, stop. Stop.
Wait, hold on. You can't walk away from that. So if you did not, what's the word? Escalate. You did not have. You
it don't count.
It don't count.
Girl.
How many times did you try to escalate this year?
A few times.
A few times, but none of that counts because you never actually got to the orgasm phase. And was it with the same person? And when was the last time you tried to escalate with that person?
Last week, but it don't count.
So you told me you ain't.
It don't count.
It don't count.
This is the
you know that don't make no damn sense.
It do.
Right?
How?
It doesn't make sense.
It do. It don't count. Like, bro, like that. It was wasted time.
It doesn't matter.
Ask the man if it counted or not. Ask him, because just because you didn't get off, I'm pretty sure he probably did. So ask him if it counted or not. Come on now. But see, this is delusional aspect. There are a lot of women who believe that. Honestly, there are the women who I've heard say that, and then there are women who say, "Oh well, they can erase it whenever they want." Like if it, you know, what they say. There's another way they say. Give an excuse as to why it doesn't count. No, that's just y'all making it up as y'all go. But ask the men if it count or not. They'll tell you. They'll keep you, make you realistic. Stop allowing you to be delusional, because that's a delulu land. You know, Successful MD says, I'm willing to say her innards are expired. Maybe. Yeah, it's another delusional tactic. Of course, y'all already know. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's just a mess, you know. But they really try to use that. I mean, it's hilarious, but it's not at the same time. Let's continue.
Did his penis enter your body?
It did, but it should not have.
Well, you allowed it to enter your body a few times, from what you're telling us.
Girl.
Why can't you be with that guy that you was with a week ago?
Because like,
how you get with a guy a week ago and you was just in our wedding a week ago?
Okay, so I was in a situationship with this guy, right?
But just last week you were almost gonna get married to Joseph, and you were sleeping with someone last week. No, I'm happy the cousins voted your ass off. Now I didn't know that much.
Joseph wasn't fucking with me anyway.
But girl, it don't matter. You showed up to be. He could have chose you as his wife, and you was sleeping with somebody last week.
I would have cut it off if he was fucking with me, but he wasn't. I got good intention. I got good. Trust me, I know when a nigga fucking with me. I knew Joseph wasn't gonna be fucking with me, so that's why I kept doing what I was doing. But I'm really
okay. The wedding was last Wednesday. When was the last time you had sex last week?
Last week.
But what day?
A day, Kendra.
I want to know if it was before the wedding.
You want to know the time too? You want to know the place?
Just the day. I want to know, was it before?
It was
Wednesday?
before the wedding. It wasn't.
If it was after the wedding, I wouldn't care.
No,
but you was about to potentially get married, and you was having sex with somebody else.
That's how it goes. Ask any married person you know when the last time they had sex with the person that they thought they was gonna be cheating with. They would have been like the day before the wedding.
Girl, what she saying? Ask a married person when the last time you was with the person who's gonna be cheating. What? This is See, and she laughing, but this is hilarious, yeah. But it's funny, but it shows you the mentality. Like, I believe she really believe. Like, what does she mean? Like, if you about to marry somebody, so this is where a lot of women get their logic from. This type of thinking. This who they talking to. Like, to be all their girlfriends and their homegirls. This how they talk. Girl, yeah. So you cheating? You sleeping with somebody else right before you about to get married? That's how y'all move, and then wonder why y'all single? I'm just saying, like, it's some whole mentality out here for real. Like, if you engage to a man that you about to marry, why are you sleeping with anybody? If anything, you sleeping with him. So y'all are out here saying you want marriage, but you screwing somebody and thinking that you gonna get a man to marry you. I'm saying this is exposing yourself. You're out here talking about you want a husband, but you sleeping with somebody else, and you think somebody gonna take you you think somebody else gonna take you seriously? Y'all got the game messed up. For real. Y'all got the game messed up. That's why y'all single, baby. You can't be out here screwing somebody else and talking about you want to get married. This is what Kendra is trying to tell her, honestly. What is wrong with y'all? Yeah, it don't work like that. She like so adamant about it. That's how it works. No, what you mean? I'm engaged. You engaged to the man you gonna marry and you screwing somebody else? What the hell? And then wonder why y'all be divorced or broke up or why you don't ever get a man to take you seriously. This is just stupid. It really is. It shows you how people think, though, how backwards it is, and then they wonder why they ain't got nobody. Child, let's continue.
Oh my God.
But I am looking for a husband now. That's why I keep hitting you up, girl. I want me a man. I'm tired of being in the streets, Kendra.
You looking for a husband, honey? You want a husband? You want a husband?
Okay, Kendra.
I do.
Okay. We're gonna solve that problem. Here we go. I got your email.
I almost got her on your show.
Yeah, listen. Well, don't worry. I got the email too. So I'm gonna have the team send this to. This is the closest you gonna get.
I almost got on your show.
You almost got. How did you?
Yes.
On my show.
Yeah, I
messed up. This is a very big allegation. So don't say
no.
Something like that.
It ain't got nothing to do with you. Yo,
I understand that, but how did you almost get? Because the human traffic means they drugged you. Did they drug you?
No, like the dude, the African dude, right? He's supposed to be meet me in Denver today, right? I'm supposed to be in Denver today, but I haven't talked to this man all week. But he expected me to be on a flight today. And then he sent me, I was like, okay, well, you got to send me 25% of what I wanted up front.
25% of what? He was sending you money to visit him?
Yeah. So I wanted to, he sent that. And he bought my flight. But I didn't talk to him, girl. And girl, I think he was in Africa or something, girl.
Well, hold on real quick. I don't, listen, I know you are a fun girl, but we're not going to throw words out like human traffic on this platform. I take that serious, okay? So I don't like that. I'm not going to play that game with you.
He said
now,
he
hold on. Now, what it sounds more like, because you're saying he sent you money that you wanted up front, it sounds like you were agreeing to be part of an escort service. That sounds more like what you just told us.
Exactly.
No. Put that in the human, because first of all, human traffic is so serious. There are girls right now being drugged every day under their will. They do not want to be participants. You are a willing participant in the story that we just gave.
No, it wasn't escorting.
You just said he sent you money and you were going to visit him.
Because he wanted me to come to a birthday party tomorrow, right?
So yeah, the women are held against their will. Yeah, she said under their will, against their will. Yeah, but I get what Kendra is saying. Yeah, but it doesn't sound like that's what was happening. It sounds like more like, you know, she's charging for it. That would be considered prostitution. And you know, that you're some type of sex worker, not somebody trying to take you against your will if you're setting it up and you're telling them your price. Now, if you put yourself in that position, once you get out there, because you don't know these people. This is why I say this is so dangerous. This is why I said this before. I don't see how these women could go out here and get flued out to strangers that you know nothing about. You don't know what they got waiting on you. You could be putting yourself in a trap situation. Like, how is that? Women need to speak out against that, because that is literally you putting yourself in harm's way. And they be so ready to do it just because if the person is offering you $1 amount and you purposely, and they'll fly you out and you get on these flights and you don't know where you're headed. That's very scary to me, but they be doing this all the time. Great Win 86, thank you for the super chat, says her only two options are she needs to go back to the baby daddy or date a man who already has kids. No man who doesn't have kids will choose her. I agree. Yep, you're going to have to date a man with kids or, find some peace with the baby daddy or just be single because, yeah. And talking about marriage, what man in his right mind is going to want to marry her with this type of stuff she got going on? You know what I mean? Thank you, Great Wins. I appreciate you for the support. Yeah, this is crazy. Let's continue though.
The point of the matter is don't play with words like human traffic. That's a very serious.
I'm being serious, Kendra. You're not listening.
No, hold on. I'm not finished. And there are girls right now who are missing it on this planet.
I was
Families
are
looking
You're not
for them,
listening.
and it's not a joking matter.
And
the reason why yours is not the same. The reason why yours is not the same is because you said he sent you money in advance. That's what you said. There's sometimes when we can have fun, but when you bring up things like that and people are really going through that and girls are really missing right now and they're really being drugged and sexually transferred, let's not make fun of that because that's serious. Okay? I think what's happening is and shout out to Linda. I don't mind having fun with Linda, but I don't like when we play with real things that people are going through that are not a laughing matter. And being human trafficked is not a laughing matter. And let me say this to every woman. If you are accepting money from a man for your services, that's called prostitution or escort. That's your business. Okay? But just know when you ask for $1 amount and they send it to you, you set yourself up for something else. Okay?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And I think, it's become so popular, being, like I said, having somebody fly you out and pay, the agreement is not just to fly you out just to go see a movie. They're flying you out because there's an agreement to some type of transaction. And a lot of times these women know that that's the case and they're okay with it. I don't know how many times I've seen women get flown out to basic strangers. Like you meet these people online and you don't know their history. You don't know anything about them. You only know what they present online. You don't know if these could be a killer. It could be a psychopath. It could be anybody that you're subjecting yourself to, and they just do it so freely and so easily. They don't think twice about it. And then you go out here, and if you go to these places, this is not somebody, grabbing you off the streets. No, you are literally putting yourself in harm's way. You're delivering yourself to the possible crazy person. And if you do that, if you end up missing or something like that, that would be unfortunate, but you delivered yourself to the crazy. And this is why I say something we need to tell I said it. Look, I don't think you should be doing that. You're subjecting yourself to harm. You don't know these people. You have to be careful out here just dating. You don't know who you're purposely putting yourself out here for some money. Or because somebody gonna pay you and you're agreeing to a certain amount to sell yourself and you don't know what you're selling yourself into. So you have to be careful. I would advise any young woman to not do that. Do not subject yourself to any harm. You don't any possible harm because somebody's paying you. You're going out here to sell yourself at a cost that's acceptable, and you don't know what you're getting out of it. That's a very slippery slope, and that's very dangerous to me. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't. That is not something that I would have ever done or would do. And I just wouldn't, I have daughters and there's no way. There's no way. And I really just see this stuff and I just be like, damn, where y'all parents, y'all parents don't have no type of influence on you for you to understand how dangerous that is. Your parents teach you that you should never do that. And you should never be in a predicament where you're desperate enough to be willing to do something like that. Because to me, I think a lot of women are doing it out of desperation. You need money so desperately, and you're selling your bodies in this way and not realizing how harmful or dangerous this could be. And I don't care if you have a weapon or with all that kind of stuff, you don't know what you're going to. That's what I'm saying. They go to people's houses. You never been in their house. You don't know who's waiting there. You don't know what these people could do. Could chop you up to limited pieces, and you have no clue. You just out here willing like this is okay. It's acceptable. This is crazy. So yeah, and there are examples of stuff like this happening. These women are just going out here not really realizing the potential danger that they're putting themselves in. So you should not be so desperate that you will allow or subject yourself to this type of stuff, because it could be very dangerous. You know, you shouldn't be desperate for money and a lot of these women we have a lot of sex workers out here who are just doing whatever for money. You shouldn't be so desperate for money to you'll subject yourself to possible harm in this way, or possibly losing your life. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. There are situations, right, where they're cutting people's bodies up and putting them all, throwing them in a river and stuff like this. Like, come on now, y'all got to be careful. This is why I say fathers are needed desperately, stable mothers and stable fathers to teach your kids that they shouldn't, when you're in their lives and you're taking care of them, so when you teach them that they shouldn't be desperate to sell their bodies to the highest bidder, and not understand how dangerous this lifestyle could be. That you don't need to be prostitutes and whores out in the street, because that comes with a lot of danger that you're subjecting yourself to, and they don't talk about that enough. We hear a little bit more of these, that the sex workers telling young women how dangerous it is, but we don't have enough of that out there. They're more sensationalizing that lifestyle than actually talking about the dangers that are associated with it. And we need to hear more of the dangerous side of it, so that these young women can deter from that. Go out. I don't mind you going. This is where I don't mind you going to college and getting some type of degree to get you a job to take care of yourself, as opposed to going out here selling your body and putting yourself in this type of lifestyle that is very dangerous. You know what I mean? Because it's really not cute. You know what I mean? So I just think we need to have more older women telling these young women how dangerous that is, and pointing out that this is not something that you have to. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't be a part of your option. You're there's no other options. I just got to go sell my body. You know what I mean? And then go to what is they call it, 304 talk and OnlyFans and all these things. That shouldn't be the only options for you out here. But this is where a lot of these women are resorting to. A lot of these women who are boss chicks and entrepreneurs, they have OnlyFans. They're out here selling their bodies to the highest bidder, and this is how they're making their money. And they're making it seem like that's their only option because of the lifestyle. And it's another thing too, and I'm gonna wrap this up. It's the lifestyle that is pushing a lot of these women to think that that's their only choices, because they don't want to live a regular average life. They think that they have to have these fancy things and all of these expensive things to live and be happy. And I think it's pushing a lot of these women to that lifestyle, because that's the only way they know of where they can get a substantial, they could have, because now that's not as lucrative as it once was. But they're going to those avenues thinking that that's the best way to get money quickly, so that they can have these extravagant lifestyles and spend all this money traveling and all this stuff that a lot of women deem a fancy, fabulous life, because you want the approval of other women to be, glamored by your lifestyle. No, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a disaster waiting to happen. And I don't think we should be promoting this so-called lifestyle, because it's causing these women to think that they have to go into sex work in order to get enough money to live that life. So they're willing to do anything. They're out here busting it open. I mean, doing any and everything, sleeping with thousands of men so that they can make money to live a lifestyle to feel worthy. And you still end up just being ran through horribly, and you still don't feel good about yourself, and you still don't feel worthy, because they still. And they always like to talk about validation by a man, but a lot of these women need validation from a man. You still want a man, even after 1,000 bodies, you still want a man to marry you, to make you feel validated. So, Yeah, and I don't think it's happening. They still, oh, I don't need a man. I don't need a male validation and all this, but you want it. You don't feel valid unless a man looks at you and say, I love you and want to be with you. Will you marry me? That's, to me, that's the ultimate validation, in my opinion. As much as women say they don't want it, they really do. Because when you're in a relationship with a man, what do? How do you feel? You want him to eventually marry you. You're looking for that day where he proposed to you and say, and validate you. You're looking for the day because it makes you feel special. Like, okay, you don't just do this for any woman. So for a man to take you on as his wife and be willing to go through that, that means you're worthy. That means you're special. That's the ultimate validation from a man, for a man to want to marry you. So come on, you can miss me with this. Oh, we don't need that. Yes, you do. Because any woman that's in a relationship, with a man that you care about, you're thinking in the back of your mind, will he marry you? Would he want to propose to you? Most women think like that. So they'll try to convince you otherwise, but I know better. And so, because if it wasn't the case, you wouldn't have women who've slept with thousands of men out here saying, I want a husband one day. I want to marry. I want a husband. Why would you want a husband if you're living your ultimate life and dream to be a hoist and then you're making all this money? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I appreciate you guys for being here. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. Listen, make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you guys turn on that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload new content. Also share and like the stream, you guys, if you haven't already. Make sure you go over and support the merch. Go ahead and get your t-shirts. I'm going to also, like I said, put an ad in. I'm going to make an ad to put in the video so that you guys can go over and support. Here is the link. I'm gonna put a link to where you can purchase the merch. So make sure you support in that way if you can. I do have the oh my God, I keep forgetting. Winter is here, t-shirts available. I also have Pick Me Nation available, and I also have Who You Want Gotta Want You shirts available as well. So make sure you go and support. I will be purchasing shirts and wearing them on this platform. So make sure you guys go and get yours as well. And if you do purchase, please let me know that you have purchased your shirts as well. So make sure you support in that way, you guys. Just continue to watch the videos that are posted on the channel, and leave a comment and like as well. That way I know it's real, that way. So make sure you guys are doing that. Shout out to everybody who gave super chats to Cash App. I appreciate you so much. That definitely helps the channel to go a long way, you guys. Shout out to you guys for being here, supporting, and always having my back. So thank y'all once again. I appreciate you. Yes, the Pick Me Nation shirts are available if you want to go and purchase one. I pinned the link to the top of the chat, but you can also go in the description box to purchase one as well. And definitely support in that way. So thank y'all once again for being here. I appreciate y'all once again. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to try for the rest of this week to maybe come on live. I'm going to try to maybe give you guys maybe an hour and a half of lives for the rest of this week, because y'all know next week is Christmas, and I normally, like I said, I don't do lives for the holidays and stuff, that because I'm with my family for sure and we're celebrating, but videos will still be posted on the channel. So make sure you guys are watching, supporting, sharing, liking, all that good stuff. And so I'm gonna try to give you guys at least an hour and a half of lives somewhere in this week, a little bit more than I have been, because I know I was missing in action last week. So please forgive me for that. So make sure you guys have that notification bell turned on and that you are joining the live streams. All right. So thank y'all so much once again. And I think I probably would just have your notification bell turned on, because I may pop up at my normal time, 1 o'clock, or maybe around this time, 4 p.m. But make sure you have your notification bells turned on. All right. So I'm talking too much. Thank y'all. I love you guys so much for being here. Make sure you are tuned in next time. Make sure you continue to support by watching the videos and get your t-shirts, y'all. Get your t-shirts and let me know when you do. All right. So thank y'all once again. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more and I'll catch you in the next one. Mwah. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
It's DeeDeesReactions. It's DeeDeesReactions. DeeDeesReactions. I hope you enjoy the show. Like, share, subscribe. You know it's a vibe. Like, share, subscribe. 'Cause you know it's a vibe. It's DeeDeesReactions. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It's DeeDeesReactions. It's DeeDeesReactions. DeeDeesReactions. Later. 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 It's DeeDeesReactions. DeeDeesReactions. I hope you enjoy the show. Like, share, subscribe. You know it's a vibe. Like, share, subscribe. 'Cause you know it's a vibe. It's DeeDeesReactions. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It's DeeDeesReactions. It's DeeDeesReactions. DeeDeesReactions. Later. 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 It's DeeDeesReactions. DeeDeesReactions. I hope you enjoy the show. Like, share, subscribe. You know it's a vibe. Like, share, subscribe. 'Cause you know it's a vibe. It's DeeDeesReactions. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It's DeeDeesReactions. It's DeeDeesReactions. DeeDeesReactions. Later.